Today's video, we're going to be going over some of the most common use cases for product managers using Claude. If you are an AI product manager beginner or an experienced product manager, but you feel like you're a little bit behind because other people are using Claude and you are not quite sure how to, or you feel like you can get a little bit more out of it, this video is for you. We are going to demystify the entire process. For starters, my name is Rich, and I'll be walking you over this video. Start off by getting yourself a Claude account, and you don't even need the free version. Currently, right now, I am running the pro version because I'm on this bad boy all the time. The other thing that I am going to talk about is I am using something called GenSpark for the voice prompting and voice narration. Now, for myself, I'm using GenSpark Speakly, which is AI voice dictation. It's 4 times faster than typing. Excuse me, and I can tell you that voice prompting and voice dictation is a game changer, especially when you're getting a little bit older like myself. Your fingers start to get a little bit more nimble. You can also go ahead and use Whisper Flow. I got a chance to go ahead and use both of them. Personally, I just prefer GenSpark just because I also use a bunch of Agentic AI functions on GenSpark, but we'll be covering that in a separate video. Tonight, though, for Claude, the first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to prompt some of the common use cases as well as setting up a project so you have effectively a digital assistant that's going to be your Claude go-to for anything related to product management. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and ask Claude is basically this. I want you to provide me with a list of the most common use cases that product managers can go ahead and use for Claude. In addition, pretend for a minute I am somebody transitioning over to product management for the very first time. Can you give me a list of use cases that I would use Claude for on the first 90 days of the job to go out there and make sure that they didn't make a mistake hiring me? What are some of the common use cases? Just go ahead and list it out and how you can go out there and help. And it's going to load all that up. And boom, I'm going to go ahead and run it. Product manager use cases. Here's a breakdown, both lists. Common product manager use cases with Claude and a practical 90-day playbook for a new PM. So writing and communication, the most frequent. So drafting PRDs, spec documents, release notes, stakeholder updates. Wow. Discovery research tasks, running RICE, ICE, Moscow, or Kano frameworks against the backlog is another heavy hitter. Roadmap. So we are having all of this information here. It's absolutely wonderful. North Star. Woo. Okay, you'll have a bunch of this information come out, right? Perfect. Now, one of the most common things that you're going to have to do as a product manager is actually drafting up PRDs. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, your first PRD draft, day 60, roadmap proposal, executive presentation, launch readiness, 30, 60, 90 retro. Very, very, very cool. I'm going to go ahead and ask Claude this. I want to set up a project. I want you to help me set up a Claude project to effectively be my digital associate product management assistant, and as well as act as my product manager mentor and coach on the job. I have absolutely no idea how to go ahead and draft a PRD that is going to impress my coworkers. I don't know how to do persona generation. I don't know how to do a roadmap proposal. And I don't know pretty much everything that you have listed, such as stakeholder map, competitive mapping, discovery synthesis, none of it. I need that Claude project to be my North Star. And as you can see here, it gave me that. So I'm going to need a name for the project. I'm going to need goals for the project, and I need very clear instructions for the project as well. Can you go ahead and have all of that prompted up for me? I'm telling you, voice prompting is a game changer, fam. So we're going to hit that. And it's going to go ahead and give me a project, just like this. My on-demand associate. Okay, great. And I'm going to have all of this. And I'm going to think of some additional stuff that I'm going to want to add in there, right? And, you know, let's just say this. Before it's even done, I can add it. I just cannot press the enter button. My anxiety right now as a first-time product manager is at an all-time high. I'm keen to go ahead and make an impression. So on top of just giving me directions and step-by-step directions as to what it is that I'm supposed to be doing, I'm also going to need you to talk to me in the most gentle voice where I'm receiving tons of words of affirmation that I'm doing a great job and that I'm heading down the right path. That's also very important, you know. So wow, it generated all of this. PM, who am I? Claude project system prompt. Great, your role, your personality, your core deliverables. Can you go ahead and add this for me into, can you go ahead and also update this too? Into the instructions, the project description, as well as the project name. That's also very important. I'll tell you guys why, because I think so many people that work in product management absolutely overthink every aspect of the business. They really don't need to. If you don't think you know what it is that you're doing, trust me when I say, really trust me on this. We have placed enough product managers at every seniority level to be able to go ahead and tell you that even at the very top levels, they don't really know what they're doing either. A lot of times people don't, you know? So everybody's all trying to go out there and figure it out a little bit. But that's also why it's so important for you guys to see this live demo, right? Because only then can you truly know okay, there's all these different things that you can actually do with it. So if you need Claude to do more for you than just to give you very cold instructions, let's go ahead and actually kind of walk through all of that. Let them know exactly what is it that you need, and Claude can actually get back to you. For the time being right now, we know that the product PM accelerator, associate PM, mentor and co-pilot, my on-demand associate PM, assistant, mentor, coach helps me learn, execute, and grow with confidence from day one. And it's actually running down all this information right now. You've got this, your safe space for becoming a great product manager. The Claude project system prompt. Who am I? I'm an early but I need patient encouragement and guidance. Encourage and guidance. Okay, project name, you've got this. Your safe space for becoming a great PM. Project description, what's new inside. This entire tone section was rebuilt. Okay, let's go ahead and actually check this out. PM accelerator prompt. How to teach me, start with reassurance, all of this. Okay, so now let's go ahead and actually create the project. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take this and then we're just gonna go to the project and we're gonna add the project right here. You've got this. And I've always found that, just for me, I don't know if it makes that much of a difference, but just writing out the entire words product manager versus just saying PM just gives me a little bit more of an assurance that it's the right thing, that I'm going to be getting a better result, because PM can mean a lot of things: project manager, program manager, portfolio manager. So I'll actually write it out, product manager, and I'm going to go ahead and create the project. And now everything that I need is inside here. Next thing is I'm going to go ahead and actually add the project instructions right here. So basically now, everything that I need, it's going to be something very specific. So save instructions. So why is this important? Now it focuses all of our chats just in something that's very specific. I can go ahead here and continue to edit the details, or I can go ahead and actually star it. I can also go ahead and share it with a coworker, and I can go out there and also add in files. So existing like PRDs or anything like that, right? So let's just say, what do you need help with today? Today, I was delegated a task as a first-time product manager to write a product requirements document and to present it on Thursday. I'm totally freaking out about this, and I don't know what to do. At the same time, I feel very nervous about asking my team, but I feel even more scared to go ahead and ask my boss. I'm a product manager for an e-commerce company that deals with wellness products as well as protein powders and vitamin supplements. And I'm expected to go ahead and write a PRD. Can you give me some guidance on this? I'm going to go out there and hit the start button. Take a breath. You've got this, and I've got you. First things first, so the words of encouragement are actually coming out. Here's exactly what we're going to go ahead and do together. What is a PRD really? Is a blueprint for a house before construction, crew builds, anything they need to get started on the document. Before I draft the PRD, I need 3 things. What is the feature of the problem? Who is the target user? What's the business context? They basically told me that it could be any feature or problem that I want. I should go out there and actually conjure a target user, and I should provide myself with a business context. Essentially speaking, this is not really a real PRD so much as they want to just know that I can write one. Perhaps based upon the context that I have already provided you, that I'm working at an e-commerce company in the wellness space, you could maybe provide me with some suggestions. Hit the send button there. Number 2, subscription and auto replenish feature, post-purchase review and results tracker. My honest opinion, I was actually going to go with option 2 because people love things like when we're talking about revenue, right? So I'm going to let it know. Can I go with option number 2? Because I feel like the team would be also pretty impressed with that, or more interested to hear about like a subscription and an auto replenishment feature. I'm going to hit enter. Whoa, I cannot believe people used to do this thing manually. Wow. Now while it's running that, I'm just going to go back over to this and see like what are some additional use cases, right? Subscription management, admin, 7 open questions. Holy moly, this is insane, yo. You have a PRD. Now, let's just say you're completely new into the game because you didn't have our program, right? You can go ahead and ask it this. This is my first product manager job, and I have a lot of imposter syndrome. Can you tell me what's the process that generally comes after a PRD is drafted? Does it go into a review phase? And let's just say it does, or I'm assuming everybody has a conversation about it. What do we do as a product management team after we finalize this product requirements doc? What's the next step? I have no idea and I have no clue. Or the next step in the process after a PRD is different based upon the company or the team that you're working at. I'm just very curious to know what's next, because I'm assuming there's probably going to be some type of action that's going to be taken after we have a PRD. And that's very fair, because we also get a lot of people that enroll in our program that internally transitioned into a product manager role at their company, and they have absolutely no freaking clue how to become product manager. Neither does the company that they're working at that made the internal transition from them provide them with any guidance or mentorship. So if you're feeling like freaked out there, put together a Claude project, right? And let's go ahead and find out. Imposter syndrome is not evidence that you don't belong. It's evidence that you have high standards. The fact that you're asking what comes next, that curiosity drive to understand, mentorship mode, what happens after? Okay, so stage one is getting PRD review and alignment. Does everybody understand and agree what it is that we're building? Does exactly what you intuited, and your instincts were right. After the PRD is drafted, it goes into a review phase where the stakeholders read it, ask questions, get alignment on the plan, sharing the PRD in a collaborative project, collaborative docs such as Google Docs, Confluence, Notion, so people can go ahead and leave comments, holding a PRD review meeting where you walk stakeholders through it, engineering, design, marketing, sometimes legal, collecting feedback. Your job as a product manager here is to facilitate the conversation. You are not defending the PRD, you're refining it with the team. The best product managers treat this phase as collaborative and non-combative. Stage two, design process. What will this actually look like and feel like once the PRD is aligned? Your design team, UX and UI designer, takes it and translates the requirements into visual flows and mock-ups. This typically produces wireframes, high-fidelity mock-ups, prototypes. Your job here is to stay closely involved. Okay, so technical scoping. How long will this take to build, and how hard is it, right? So we actually have that. Okay, so let's talk about prototyping. I'm very curious what the prototype would look like. Do you think I'm overstepping if I did a prototype myself with, let's just say, Lovable, or even using Claude to do that? Either way, I'm pretty curious to get a prototype out. Can you go ahead and create a prompt that I can copy and paste directly into Lovable, just so I can see what it looks like? Also, I'm not sure if you can prototype here, but if you can you also create the prompt as well and let me know if I can just add the prompt back in so I can create the prototype. I love this. Absolutely not. Just to give you guys a real world use case though, sometimes, I'm not saying all the times, if you're asking me like, oh, should you actually do this on the job? I would be lying to you if I told you that sometimes, like, especially now with AI, a lot of people are very antsy that they're going to get replaced by AI. You know, if you're a first-time product manager, should you actually be the one to do this? I would say, like anything else, it's better to have it and not need it versus you need it and then you don't have it. And it also just shows initiative. But I would also be remiss if, like, sometimes, somebody that's on the design team's like, that's not your job. Why are you doing that? But get ready to, like, it can happen, right? I don't want to say, like, it can't. But, oh, shit. Oh, damn, it created the thing right there. I can actually build you the interactive prototype right here, right now. Let me do it. Oh, shit. This homie right here is taking Lovable's job. Oh my gosh. Building your prototype. Okay, so we just went from like, let's just go ahead and recap, right? So we just went from a PRD to prototype. Okay, all in Claude. And then the next thing that we're going to show here is your Lovable copy and paste build. Okay, all right, so we're going to do that. Now, I'm just going to ask it like one more thing while we're on the video. Generally speaking, what's the step after the prototype? What do you think I should be working on next? Again, I don't want to go ahead and overstep, but I'm just thinking out loud here. I want to just take some initiative and then also just try to get a little bit ahead of it. And you see here, like right now, I think voice prompting is so much better than actually typing, because it now feels like you're working with a digital employee, and we're getting to that spot before the end of the year where it's going to be able to communicate back to us. You know, so it's actually what typically follows a prototype: internal stakeholder alignment, true, user validation. Okay, this is called usability testing, and it's one of the most humbling and valuable things that PM can do. Real users surprise you. Okay, build a stakeholder map. So what you should work on right now, and pressure test your PRD. Okay, got it. So let's go ahead and actually take action on this. Can you go ahead and just help me draft up a stakeholder map? I don't need something very complex, but I would just like to get an overview of even what a stakeholder map even looks like, just because I've never really seen it before. And also, if you can describe to me all the different components that goes into a stakeholder map, and generally where everything goes and in what order, it would be very insightful for me to go ahead and learn this as a first-time product manager. Also, we get a lot of people in the program that's actually never really learned how to do product management correctly or with standardized procedures. So they'll tell us like, oh yeah, you know, I was like the customer success and the product manager, and they just kind of did it. We kind of had it done our way. And then they go to another company and they're like, holy shit, that's how it's, and then they're like completely thrown off, and then they come here. So the components of a stakeholder map, who they are, their level of influence. And actually, while we're doing this, give me a hot second here. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pop over this prompt over to Lovable and just see for a second what it actually looks like on Lovable compared to what we actually have right here. Okay. Well, this is actually quite responsive. So right now I'm on Lovable, and I'm just going to go ahead and paste this in. Okay. And we had it in a way where they actually have two designs coming up. Cool. So I'm going to come back down here. Stakeholder map, the components, who they are, their level of influence, their interest level, what they care most about, their likely concerns. Now let's go ahead and build yours, the VIP. Wow. Whoa. Breaking down each component. This is the mental model to go ahead and remember. You now have a PRD and a stakeholder map. A prototype. It is generally impressive preparation for your Thursday presentation. Is there anything else that's next? I'm currently having the other prototype vibe coded on Lovable right now. So something that's also really good if you're actually part of the interview process right now is you could use Claude to effectively just create like this little side project before you even do the interview with him, right? So, woo, here's your checklist right now. Pressure test, not done yet. Executive presentation, narrative, not done yet. Okay, so you can have actually all this stuff done while Lovable is building, let's run a pressure test. It may take 15 minutes. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and check up on Lovable. And I'm gonna tell y'all here, this is insane because this was at some point done by hand. I mean, shit, I'm not even typing this thing out anymore. I'm going freaking totally hands-free, right? Except when I gotta go ahead and hit the button to go out there and prompt. This is freaking amazing. Okay, product page, screen 1, 2, 3. Marketing to go ahead and actually run your thing for you. Wow. This is actually quite crazy. Take a look at this. And I think this is like, compared to, got it. Okay. And then, so we have the PRD, we have the stakeholder map. Okay. And then we have, why don't we have actually one more thing, right? Which is, UGC is very big right now, right? So, can you draft up a very, very, very basic, just in a few bullets, not anything too complicated, in a very, very short form, a UGC campaign or influencer partnerships campaign that we can go ahead and actually run with this? Because I know part of our marketing focus for this upcoming quarter is to actually focus more on affiliate marketing, especially with influencers in this space. Boom. I want to name something. You started not knowing how to write a PRD. Now you have PRD, blah, 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 and UGC campaign. What? So yeah, so now you basically have all of this, right? And I'm gonna ask it to go out there and do one more thing. I want some strong visuals going into this this meeting for for Thursday. Can you go ahead and give me some visuals? Maybe I can go out there and use and pull with some like AI generated influencers using our e-commerce site and using the brands that we represent. Can you go ahead and do that? And I'm going to write with lovable. Or is it not possible for me to have real faces on this campaign? I also have access to GenSpark and also Google Gemini. Do you think it's better for that? Because something else that we're focusing on is actually AI generated influencers. I just want to know if this is something that Claude could do, Lovable should do, or should I be using Google Gemini or GenSpark? Regardless of the tool, provide me the prompt and the instructions for the next steps. Okay, so you also want to go ahead and ask Claude what it can and cannot do, right? So we have now all this information, and I'm going to go ahead and write out. we have right now, going back over to this, let's see if it's responsive, 90 days. Okay, same thing that we have right here, 30 days. Free shipping, one-time purchase, one-time purchase. Pick your preferred view and you'll only be charged for the one that you choose. Which one do you guys like more? I think right now, let me go ahead and actually show the prompt. Build an e-commerce subscriptions feature subscriber. Okay, and then you have the CTA, design should be clean. Wow. Wow, okay. You know what, I'm just gonna go with this one because this one looks like the other one that we already have on Claude. I don't know, I already have the other version that looks very similar to this on Claude, and so I just decided to choose this one instead. Submit feedback. Boom, there you go. Later. Okay, let's see if we could play with Lovable a little bit too. I'm looking to go ahead and demo this for a presentation that I have with my product management team. Currently, right now, I'm not seeing a whole lot of functionality. Are there additional toggles, buttons, and other things that you can go ahead and provide for me that I can show? That way I can flex this prototype some more on a real product management team. I'm gonna let it work its magic over there. Starting line preview. Let's go out there and let it work. Boom! Now we actually have another prototype that's actually right here that's fully done right now with Lovable. Now, if I wanted to go out there and actually make this fancy, I can take the prompt and I can actually go ahead and add it into Google AI Studio or Replit or even GenSpark. So, Base 44, there's no shortage of vibe coding tools that we can go out there and actually use to go out there and prototype this. But what I wanted to show people today was that you don't have to know everything. I don't know everything. Nobody does. You just go out there, you just go out there and you can actually describe what it is that you need. And I think AI is most effectively used by voice prompting because the more information the AI has, the better the answers it's going to give to you. And sometimes, even when I'm drafting up an email, it's like there's so much context and so much information that I want to go ahead and add, but I'm just like not typing it all fast enough, and I feel very flustered, right? Because I want to be so damn specific. With that case, if you're just voice prompting, like I'm doing right now, I just got to hit this. Boom. Okay, I just got to hit and that's more than enough information that I actually need, and I can include as much context as I would like into it. And then now you basically start feeling like Iron Man working on your Iron Man suit in, his Malibu mansion. With that said, please let me know. We are actually starting up our Agentic AI cohort very, very, very soon. And all of this is going to be agentified with actually Claude co-work, where you can just go ahead, now that you know all of the different steps, you can just go ahead and add one after another. If you guys wanted all of this information here, please don't hesitate to just, I don't know if it's useful to you guys or not. I mean, I was just out here just literally vibe prompting. Reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'll get all this information over to y'all. I'll just go ahead and just share it with you guys, okay? Talk to you very, very soon.